After years of silence, Juanita Bynum has finally spoken out, and what she revealed about Bishop T.D. Jakes stepping down has sent shockwaves through the church world. This isn't just another farewell, it's deeply personal. Her words shed light on a truth that had been building for over 2 decades, one no one saw coming. At 63, Juanita Bynum has come forward to share the truth behind T.D. Jakes' exit, a revelation that could change everything we thought we knew about their relationship. When Bishop Jakes, one of the most influential spiritual leaders of our time, announced his decision to step down from his leadership role, the Christian community was stunned. But what followed grabbed even more attention. Dr. Juanita Bynum, a spiritual powerhouse in her own right, finally broke her silence in a bold and unfiltered way. What she had to say wasn't just about his resignation, it was about the years of events that led up to it. In this moment, we take a deep dive into the complex and layered history between Juanita Bynum and Bishop Jakes. From their early days sharing global stages to the simmering tensions that developed behind the scenes, her words have reopened conversations many thought had long been buried. By the end of her revelations, it became clear that this wasn't merely about a resignation, it was a reckoning. For decades, Bishop Jakes has stood as a towering figure in the Christian community. His thunderous sermons, best-selling books, and transformative *Woman, Thou Art Loosed conferences made him a titan of faith. But behind the polished messages and powerful public image, Juanita Bynum saw something different, something the public never questioned. Juanita was never just a bystander to Jakes' rise, she was part of the movement. Many even credit Jakes for launching her into the spotlight when she delivered her electrifying *No More Sheets* sermon at one of his major conferences. It was raw, real, and deeply needed by millions of women. While the world saw unity between these two spiritual giants, insiders whispered of underlying tension. According to those close to them, Juanita and Bishop Jakes held very different views on ministry, accountability, and the responsibilities of spiritual leaders. While Jakes valued maintaining a polished public image and discretion, Juanita, always outspoken, believed in speaking uncomfortable truths openly. Though neither party publicly acknowledged this tension, it was well known in private circles. Juanita, in particular, expressed concerns about what she saw as the growing celebrity culture within the church. Megapastors living like moguls, congregations giving blindly, and lavish events that resembled entertainment more than spiritual restoration, these were the trends she couldn't ignore. Though she never directly named Jakes at the time, those close to the situation confirm that their differing values complicated their relationship, which, though respectful, grew increasingly strained. So when Bishop Jakes announced his decision to step down, Juanita's response wasn't filled with polite praise. Instead, she shared her truth, one born of years of lived experience and quiet observation. And what stood out most was that her message wasn't driven by anger or disappointment. It was driven by clarity. In a candid interview, Juanita Bynum pulled back the curtain on the spiritual empire many only saw from the outside. With passion and honesty, she discussed how success, when it becomes all-consuming, can harm the soul of a ministry. At the core of her message was a powerful critique of a culture that turns spiritual leaders into idols, where they are expected to be perfect, invincible figures, and where authenticity is sacrificed to maintain an image. Juanita wasn't speaking solely about Bishop Jakes, she was addressing the entire system that upholds celebrity-driven ministries. She posed a piercing question: what happens when your ministry becomes more about the brand than the calling? This question struck at the heart of a systemic issue, one in which the pursuit of recognition and influence often eclipses the original spiritual mission. Her words resonated not because they were scandalous, but because they were real. They offered a deeper reflection on the immense pressures spiritual leaders face, not just in church, but across all areas of leadership. She highlighted the loneliness, the crushing expectations, and the emotional toll leaders endure, often in silence. The suffocating demands placed on those in leadership raise a sobering question: what happens when the healing stops and the image takes over? Juanita Bynum posed this powerful thought, challenging us to reconsider what truly matters in leadership. Her remarks on Bishop T.D. Jakes' decision to step down went far beyond personal critique. Instead, they offered a broader reflection on the intense pressures spiritual leaders face in today's celebrity-driven ministry culture. She explained how the overwhelming expectation to maintain a flawless public image often leads to burnout, with leaders being seen as unbreakable icons. For Juanita, Jakes' departure wasn't shocking, it was a predictable outcome of a system that demands more from spiritual leaders than any one person can give. Juanita wasn't blaming Bishop Jakes. Rather, she highlighted the heavy toll that success and visibility can take on a leader's emotional and spiritual well-being. She emphasized that with fame and fortune come deep sacrifices, emotional strain, isolation, and the gradual loss of authenticity. As the Potter's House grew into a global cultural force, so did the pressure for Jakes to sustain a perfect image. Juanita's message was a much-needed wake-up call, urging the church community to reconsider the true cost of building a ministry centered on branding rather than spiritual calling. Her words offered a sobering reflection on the toxicity of a culture that values expansion and image over genuine service. She warned that when a ministry becomes larger than the individual leading it, that person's emotional and spiritual health is often compromised. The constant demand to grow, perform, and succeed can break even the strongest spirit, leaving leaders exhausted and disconnected. Juanita's message wasn't just about Jakes, it was a broader call for all spiritual leaders to step back from the allure of celebrity and return to authenticity. She advocated for a renewed focus on the spiritual health of both leaders and their communities, reminding us that the real purpose of ministry is to serve, uplift, and heal, not just to expand a brand. As the conversation shifted to Bishop Jakes' legacy, Juanita acknowledged the profound complexity of stepping away from such a monumental platform. While his legacy will likely endure, she raised a crucial question: what happens when the man who built the empire steps down? What becomes of the brand, and more importantly, what becomes of the spiritual calling that once fueled it? Her reflections served as both a cautionary tale and a call to action. The pressures of celebrity culture within the church are real, and if not addressed, they can destroy the soul of ministry. In the end, Juanita Bynum's words reminded us that the true legacy of any ministry lies not in the size of the empire built, but in the lives transformed and the calling faithfully fulfilled. If there is one message that resonates from her bold reflections, it's this: the real cost of success in ministry may be far greater than anyone ever anticipated. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support means the world to us and helps bring more powerful content your way. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching.